Dougie McKinnon, you're the owner of 2 fishing boats, or a part owner anyway.
Yes.
And you own this hotel in Tarbert.
Yeah.
How important is tourism to the community here?
Well, I would say it's very, very important. I would say it's one of the most important things, apart from maybe fishing is probably one of the important ones. But tourism, I would say, is really the main industry, if you like to call it, in this part of the country. Yeah.
And does this mean then that the shops that I see all around here are very heavily dependent for survival on what comes in the summer?
Well, I would say so. If you walk around just now at this time of the year, you'll find that most of them are empty, but they really do depend on the tourists quite a lot.
Well, I've been very, very comfortable here, and it's very clear there is a standard of service around here which you don't find everywhere in the country.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Does this stem from the fact that, you know, they're very conscious of the need to attract people back again?
Oh, I think so. They really have to try hard to get them back. We haven't an awful lot to offer apart from that. This service, because there are not many other things to do. It's beautiful scenery, but that's about it.
And really then you could say that Tarbert, being where it is, it tends to be a touring centre rather than a holiday resort.
Oh yes, without a doubt. It's not a place where somebody might spend 3 weeks, but 2 nights here and on the go, and then more come in. Some stay 3 nights because they like it, but it is more of a touring centre.
And how about the length of the season?
Oh, it's not a bad season compared to many places. I think we get from May to September quite well, now going into October probably.
And a big influx of yachtsmen in the summer?
Oh yes, it's one of the most popular yachting centres, I would say, in Scotland.
Thank you, Dougie McKinnon. Well, where better to go to find out about the yachts than the local boat yard? Peter Cass, I know you've got a boat yard in Glasgow. What brought you to Tarbert?
Well, I came here 5 years ago when the previous manager died, and I came for a week to look after the place, and I'm still here. I enjoy the place very much. I like the quality of life, I like the people, and I like the work.
And is there plenty of that?
Well, there is plenty of it around, yes. As far as yachts and fishing boats are concerned, there's never any shortage of work here.
And is it pretty well the leisure business in the summer and the other stuff throughout the year?
No, there's more leisure in the summer, naturally, because there are more yachts around, but fishing boats continue all the year round. They're out and in here all the time.
So it's repairing not only structurally but engines as well?
Oh yes, very much so. It's one of the biggest employers in Tarbert, and it's one of the biggest industries in Tarbert. Dickey's yard went out of business about 15 years ago, and eventually this present company took it over, and it's gone from strength to strength.
Well, long may it continue.
I hope so too.
Well, we're back in Tarbert, Kintyre, and this is Alec McSporran, a good old friend of mine. He's the plumber in Tarbert, and whenever I'm here, I always look him up for a very special reason. And this is it.
Well, Tom, what do you think of that as a view, eh?
Oh, terrific. Well, today I think it's the best I've ever seen it.
Ah, but I wish you'd see it in the early morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning. A summer's morning, fantastic. You just stand here and you look, all the boats are in, and it's really wonderful.
What is it that you find so completely fulfilling here?
Well, the peace and the quietness and the natural way of living and the decent way of living. And I love every minute of being in Tarbert, and I don't think I would ever leave it.
And you can always see everything that's going on below you.
Yes, there's always something moving in the water.
There's a boat coming in now, a fishing boat.
Yes, and it doesn't matter when you look out the window, there's always something moving.
And how about the community, the folks who work here? Do you know them all?
Know every one of them. Know everybody in Tarbert.
Your finger is on the pulse, especially if there's a burst pipe or two. Or a wee bit of central heating or something like that to be done, and there's always plenty of work.
Plenty of work. My biggest job is when I go down the road there is to keep out that folks' road, because they're always chasing me.
What does everybody do in Tarbert, Alec?
Well, most of the young people go to the fishing, the young boys go to the fishing, and then there's the fish factories, and then there's, different trades. But the bulk of the younger people, they go away to Glasgow, to learn whatever it could be.
So really it's pretty well everything connected with the sea that's still the life of Tarbert
Yes.
then.
Aye, connected round the fishing. Of course, Tarbert's a fishing village.
And I hear there's been a big increase in the number of tourists coming here, Alec.
Well, that's quite so. Aye. Within the last 5 years, I would say, there's a lot more people coming to the village. There's a lot more yachts coming in the summertime, you know, nice handy size of boats. And no, I would say in the whole, there's a big increase in tourism.
Oh, well, I'll be one of them in the near future, Alec. It'll be great talking to you.
It's been a pleasure
So-
to talk to you.
Cheerio just now.
Cheerio then.
Bye-bye. Alec is very much a man of Tarbert today. To find out what gives Tarbert its special character, I went to talk to one of the oldest inhabitants, Maudie Macmillan, a very special character herself. Maudie Macmillan, you were born in Tarbert 84 years ago,
Yes, 1896.
and now you're living in one of these wee sheltered houses, and I must say it's a real wee beauty. You like it?
Oh, I love it. Love it.
And you were born not very far from here.
Oh, just across this from the church, just a stone throw.
How many was in the family?
12. 7 boys and 5 girls. But one of my brothers was going to Canada, and the Titanic had been sunk. And my mother got it into her head that we would never be together again. So she marched us up to Cook's in the High Street in Paisley and got the photograph taken, and this is the enlargement.
What about your schooling in Tarbert? Was it good enough for the outside world?
Oh, yes. As I said, there's professors came out of there, ministers, doctors. It was a first-class school.
Do you find a basic difference in the way of life today than when you were young?
Oh, it's different altogether. There none of us had it in these days. If my mother had it and yours hadn't it, we shared it. They were very, very good, especially the back street. It was a great street for that.
Women didn't go out to work then?
No, the mothers didn't go out to work. The only people that went out to work in my young days was widows, or if you had a sick husband. But there were no such a thing, no. The mother was in the home for the child coming home from the school. They're all working now, you see.
You don't approve of that?
No, I don't. I don't approve of it at all. I think a mother's place is in the home. Can you do without 2 pays now, you see?
Yours was a Christian home, Maudie.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. We had morning prayer and round the lamp at night. It was no electricity in these days. It was the oil lamp and Bible reading. Very, very much so.
And with the kirks?
We wouldn't get out on a Sunday. You know the only way I got out on a Sunday? There was a spring well at the top of the street where we lived in, and it was fresh water. The only day I would never have twist in my face when I would be asked to go for a stop of water, because when I got up, I forgot to come back. I used to leave it with the fishermen and go away and play in the hills. And when I would come back, my father would say, "Were you making it?"
What about contentment? Do you think there's more contentment or less about today?
Oh, they're less. Oh, they're less. No doubts about it. We were content with so little.
And your son's a fisherman now?
My son's a fisherman. He's got his own boat, the Sunbeam.
And is there a good future in it for him, do you think?
Well, they're telling me, I don't know. His wife will confirm it, whether it's right or wrong. He's one of the best fishermen in Tarbert. Is that right, Margaret? Files. Oh, well, I think he's done gay wheel towards you anyway. You haven't want it for much.
Is there anything about Tarbert which is, you would say, unique to Tarbert?
Well, when there's a wedding, the Monday before the wedding, there's what's called the Carachan night. It's the women, only women go to it. But you all go, you don't get an invitation, but you go and bring a gift. In my mother's time, it was tea and sugar and that.